This week's The Rahman Experience is brought to you by the Jacksonville Free Press newspaper, bringing you quality urban news for more than 30 years. PMP Nutrition and Supplements. Want your summer body? Go to pmpnutrition.com. They'll get you exactly where you need to be. Heart SEO, internet marketing and web design for those who are ready to make their business soar. HeartSEO.com. And now, one of the hottest podcasts in the country. It is The Rahman Experience.
Just like on the earth, through death comes life.
There is something in the atmosphere of Edgewater College.
What about vaping and the effects on the lungs? It was a symbol of we can.
Rahman was a man of the city, you hear me?
You're inside the Rahman Experience.
It's the Rahman Experience.
The Rahman Experience.
The knowledge that he dropping, most dismiss and make you curious.
And we can't mess this up, cause you know he gon' be furious.
He bring the news to you, cause it's the truth, ain't no stopping it. Say you didn't know, well here's the proof coming from
Rahman Johnson, ain't no straight out of Compton. Duval County with that way that we rockin'. Now you tuned in
to the Rahman Experience.
It is the Rahman Experience. I'm Rahman Johnson, and I am so super excited to be rocking this today, man. I didn't know I was going to go live. I didn't think I was going to go live, but I'm so excited to be rocking with y'all today. This is a really fun day for me. Fun time. I literally, and I'm trying to get Nikisha on here. This is like our post-show wrap-up. Since there was no red carpet, and all of that stuff for the Black Caucus of the American Library Association, I decided that we were going to make our own, right? And so the Black Caucus and the American Library Association came together for the Book of the Year Awards. My phone is blowing up, my IG, my Facebook. I'm so thankful. Y'all, leave some comments. I'm going to get as many comments as I can in. I'm trying to get Nikisha Elise Williams in as well. But thank you. That's what I want to say. This has been an honor to be able to share this book. I'm on there with authors who I admire, who I really look up to. I know one of the winners in another category for nonfiction was Barack Obama. And Nikisha Elise Williams got an award for the fiction category, who was also from Jacksonville, which is crazy. I don't think there's ever been two winners from Jacksonville at the same time. Other winners who this book is already starting to fly off shelves. My book is available right now at Target, at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, on Amazon.com. If you don't have it, go get it. Living, Loving, Letting Go. And I'm going to probably try to, if I can get Nikisha on, I'm going to try to read a couple of excerpts from the book. But this is, I can't say it enough. Thank you. I'm blown away. I'm looking at the comments now. If you guys want to jump on, I'm going to put a link up so you can get to join the stream. But this was such an interesting moment. I got to say thank you to a whole lot of people. They only gave me a couple of minutes to say my thank yous on the actual broadcast. So I had to curtail what I was going to say. But I want to say thank you to Elijah. I want to call your company so people know LaCrafts. Elijah Ahmad Lewis, though, is a man. He is a Broadway superstar, but he also has a graphics company, LaCrafts. He put together this amazing cover, this amazing book art. So thank you. If you ever need any graphic design, he is New York's finest, and he's also an amazing Broadway star. So we just waiting on your Tony Award, bro. Elijah Ahmad Lewis, thank you. And LaCrafts Creation Studios, they do great work. So check them out. Also to the individual that shot this photo. This photo was not shot for the cover of this book. Helena Smith, aka City Reed, one of my students, was doing some practice photography. She's now a super photographer and a mom. Hard to believe that I was mentoring her a couple of years ago, and now she's mentoring a new life in the world. But she shot these photos and brought it together with Elijah's vision to create this wonderful book. And as I am going to share some stuff with you, for the book, I'm so excited. Like, y'all, that was a huge stage to be on. Nikisha, if you are around, come down. And if you guys have any questions, shoot them in the comments. I'm going to try to get to as many comments as I can. I see comments are coming in. This is just an exciting moment to be honored in this way with this award is crazy. And Professor Durbin, if you're watching, Albania Durbin, I saw you. Thank you for the post. I'm trying not to get misty, but this is just such. I'm usually not at a loss for words, but I kind of am tonight. I miss my mama. You know, I wish she was here to see this. But you know, I'm glad that this happened. Nikisha, if you're here, come on. But I really wanted to get to thank you, everybody. Brandon, I see you. Tamika, Corey, what's up? Hey, Tamika, I got your call last night, by the way. Everybody, thank you again. I don't want to say all the names. My son, Kenyon, like the bond we developed has been just amazing. My cousin Generica and Mickey and Moretta and Tracy and just like Sylvia, Reg, my whole clique. Everybody's mentioned in the book. It's like 2 pages of acknowledgments because I wouldn't be if it weren't for you guys. I never in a million years. Lisa Washington Askew, who is my confidant, my friend from 100 years ago, who forced me to write her forward in her book, which inspired the confidence to be able to put these pages together. Vincent Taylor, who's been my sensei forever and a day. I mean, it's just so many people that poured into me that made this possible. And I cannot say thank you enough to all of you, right? I mean, it's funny. I'm going to share, a poem that I've kind of, I still write. I don't think you should stop. I'm working on writing a whole bunch of other stuff. That advanced book report, those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. There's a whole lot of stuff that I have to write, especially now as a professor. And thank you everyone again for the love of being Professor of the Year at Edward Waters University. Y'all almost got me. You almost got me, but you didn't. For all of that, like there's a lot of writing that I have to do, but I still try to make sure that I maintain short story. I've written a bunch of short stories, and there's a lot of stuff floating around in my head, but short story and fiction writing is something that's very dear to me too. So I'm going to share a couple poems. Hopefully I can get Nikisha. If you guys want to come on, thank you everybody. If you guys want to come on for, let's see, I think this is it. Boom. All right. If you want to come on live, jump on. That is the link to get in, get on, have a conversation. If you want to send some love, I appreciate it. Pass this and share this to everybody else, because the reason that this is so important is because books like this in many cases aren't not only written but shared, especially when you're talking about people of color. We tend to, in some cases, in some ways, shy away from literature, right? And I was so thankful in the acceptance speech that I gave to mention so many of the luminaries who came before me that I couldn't name them all. But I even think about people like Octavia Butler, right? The Black woman who dared write science fiction. That's like huge. Names that I mentioned Sonia Sanchez, who I know, and Nikki Giovanni, who I has been on my podcast, been on this show a couple times, and Sarah Hugdu. I just think of all these great Gina May, all these great writers, and we are really experiencing in this zeitgeist. And I like that word because it's about spirit. It's about the spirit of where we are. We're really experiencing something different. And as we go through this COVID thing all over, the resurgence of the Delta variant, or the resurgence of COVID through the Delta variant, it's important that if we do go into a shutdown, which I pray we don't have to, that we are intelligent with each other, that we share with each other, and that we are finding ways to do something new with our lives, right? There should be no reason that we don't come out of the pandemic or come out of a lockdown with something bigger and greater and better. So if you want to join the conversation, you see it there. Yo, G, thank you for the love. You will always be my Mr. EWC. Love working with you, man. Ella, hey, baby. Janelle, what's up, lady? Lisa, Dolores, thank you all. G, I would say come cut my hair, but I ain't got none. Nevertheless, want to share a couple things with you, and then I'm going to jump out of here, but I just had to do, I got to get back to work. One of the poems that I think is probably biggest to me, I guess the section biggest to me, is Letting Go. A lot of it was about letting go of my mother. And I'll tell you why it's important. But before I get to that, I want to share this poem called Walking Man. And I wrote it while I was going to EWC. So what is that? Like 20 years ago, 25, we EWU now, but back, that's like 20 some years ago, I wrote this poem. I went to churches. Y'all know churches there right there on Myrtle Avenue? Not Myrtle Avenue, Myrtle Avenue. You got to say it right. All right. So I was at churches or going to churches, and there was an old man crossing the street. And I just imagined what this old man had going on with him, what he had in his mind. By the way, that animation, of course, is the Black Caucus of the American Library Association logo, their 50th anniversary, and of course, the book Living, Loving, Letting Go. Go buy it if you don't have it. Do yourself a favor. All right. So, but the man was walking across the street, and I felt the stories of his life, and that's where this poem came from. The walking man, feeble and bent from years of age, looked insignificant as he crossed the street for his dinner. A two-piece, no pepper from churches. His insignificance was more than they could fathom, for he was knowledge. I could only imagine the secrets that he kept locked in the vault of his brain, secrets in youth that we try so desperately to attain. Knowledge through growth we could only hope to gain, for our paces were too hectic, running here and going there, doing this and trying that, not taking the time, as tradition said, to gain the knowledge of the elder head. Us? No, not at all. For when our elders become elder, we think them feeble and weak and unable to go the distance, and we place them in the back of our minds, in the back of our lives, forgetting that if we were wise, that we would know. The young man is chosen because of his strength, and the elder because he knows the way. Old man's insignificance then becomes insignificant to those who have no significance. I'm going to say that again. Old man's insignificance then becomes insignificant to those who have no significance. I attributed this dissension to the lack of intervention from the generation that came before. Yet we wonder why things are so hard, and we wonder why at times we're not smart, but we really shouldn't wonder, because the map we should be using we neglect. We allow our elders to take their knowledge to the grave. The walking man or the sitting lady, old and feeble with age, possesses the keys to secrets eternal that we are forever trying to reach. I was there when the walking man, feeble and bent from years of age, crossed the street for his dinner. I watched him walk and falter. I felt conviction in his steps, fire still in his eyes. I knew of his importance. I thirsted for his knowledge. He ordered a two-piece, no pepper. I paid. It was the least I could do to buy his dinner. The walking man. Hope y'all like that. That's The Walking Man. Yeah, it's again one of the poems that I wrote a long time ago when I was at Edward Waters, and it just kind of came to fruition. And it's interesting that I've kept this much stuff this many years later, but they were important to me, right? And I think it's a repository of sorts and a way to share our lives with our children. I'm looking forward to passing this on to Kenyon and to my family members, passing things on to their kids, and to look back and to be able to say, this is our lineage and legacy. One of the things I didn't share with you is that my family, and speaking of family, Thumper, Aunt Sam, all y'all, I love you. I called y'all Generica and Uncle Joe and all this one, Jennifer, everybody. I love y'all. But I got to say, the interesting part, I make this joke often about my family, is that we have a cemetery that's our family cemetery, that's all of us, and I can trace my family lineage. It's down in Stark, Florida, and I can walk you from the end of slavery to now in the cemetery. So that's really good that I can take and really trace my family line all the way down and tell stories about those people, which will end up in a book, by the way. But I guess the bad thing about it too is most of the people is in the cemetery. The majority of them are already there. So I'm blessed to have that part of the lineage in my family. All right, so this is a newer poem. It's not in the book. I'll share it quickly. And thank you so much, Bruce. I appreciate you, John, Dolores, Miss Takeall. You know, we got to talk. I appreciate you. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Cassandra. You know what it is. Oh my goodness, you were there when I was writing some of this stuff when I was on campus at Edward Waters College. It was Edward Waters College at the time. Thank you, thank you. Please share this. Thank you, Teresa. I'm so excited. Even my girl Teresa, my girl Tracy rolled up off the sick bed to say, you better go get ready and handle your business, and went back and jumped in the bed. So even through her sickness, she still reaches out. And I just can't say thank you enough. I'll share this and then I'll share a couple other things. And if you guys have any comments or insights, please. And you also see the URL. If you want to click in to be a part and say something, you can. It's running on the banner below. Walking out of the door, half expecting you to be there. But there is nothing. No thing. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to embrace, not a thing. You see, there were efforts to scale the high walls that even I didn't know existed. The construction of boats to cross moats that were created to keep intruders from the prize surrounded my territory. And somehow through work and fate and maybe even magic with a sprinkle of deception, you made it in. And there we were, face to face, soul to soul. But once you did the work, even you didn't have the capacity to appreciate the connection of that place. You crossed the bodies that were strewn about, the bodies of those who had lost the battle, trying to forge a path in the space that you had just conquered. And there you stood, not knowing quite why you made it here, not knowing even how you made it here, not even knowing if here is where you're supposed to be. But there you were. You fought to be in that place. You fought to prove yourself for the space, and you made it. And now you have no idea what to do. Now you're here in this space that was protected. The rules evade me too. I reflect on the belief that I am what I'm supposed to be, no matter what it is I see. And the reality is that these are the nuances of me. And that is what created a space for we. Right now, in this moment, the magic of that space, that's all we need. Don't have a title for that one yet. Hope you like it. Hey, Cousin Kim, thank you so much. Tomorrow, Kim, I'm not sure if you know it, Dee, Kim is my cousin down in South Florida. Dee's granddaughter, which is Nigel's daughter, is graduating from Florida A&M University. Go Rattlers, go Rattlers. So my great niece, yeah, y'all, I have great nieces, but she's graduating. So congratulations to her. I'm not gonna be able to make it, but I really wish I could. So yeah, there's that poem. And if you any feedback, remember, please go get the book. Support published authors. I'm happy that Namar has several other authors that are being published that are coming out. I got it. One of my mentors in writing and in life, Mark Little, was so instrumental in pushing me to, I had a publisher, a major publisher that came out and they were like, hey, Rock, we want the book, and even in advance. But Mark urged me to create my own space, as we just talked about. And I did. And it was one of the best decisions because now I have some intellectual property that's even greater to leave the generations behind me. So thank you, Mark, for that. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. So a couple of things before I read my final poem. I think final. I gotta say, how many of you know Maya Angelou, Johnetta Cole? Anybody know Johnetta Cole, Dr. Johnetta Cole, who is the president emerita of Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia? And Dr. Cole is a freedom fighter. Like, she's been on the journey for a whole long time. I call her Auntie Johnetta. I've known her most of my life, all of my life actually. And her sister, Maveen Betch, the beach lady, have been integral parts of my life. Well, today, Teresa Martin Little's a good dude. Today, Johnetta Cole was arrested fighting for our rights. She is over 80 years old, and I'm sure you can easily Google and find it. And she was dressed in what I told my Auntie Carol Alexander, what I called protest couture. She was looking phenomenal. I'm gonna see if I can find those pictures and share them with you. But she was looking phenomenal. And Kim, I got you. I'll take care of you. But she was arrested along with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. But to say that at 80 plus years old, that Dr. Jonetta Besh Cole, a daughter of Jacksonville, a daughter of Edward Waters, can be arrested fighting for our voting rights in Washington, D.C. at the United States Senate. This woman could be retired. She is one of the foremost anthropologists in the world. She's worked for the Smithsonian. She's the only Black woman to be the president of 2 colleges, member of Delta Sigma Theta, member of the National Council of Negro Women. I can't go on about Jonetta Cole. But the woman put all those accomplishments to the side. She could be enjoying her retirement at a beach home here in North Florida, which she works tirelessly. Even when she is home here in Jacksonville, she could be just sitting on and enjoying her laurels. But what does she do? She gets on a plane in the middle of a global pandemic and goes to Washington, D.C. at 80 plus years old because she believed just that much in what it means to vote. So I share that story with you, not to tell Auntie Jonetta's business, because, she might jump on me for telling it, even though it was on the news. I share that with you to say, if this woman can do that at 80 plus years old, what are you doing? What are you doing with your lives? What are we doing, man? So, if you want to give some feedback, I'm not sure if I know some of the comments are coming back on YouTube. So if I'm missing the YouTube comments, please forgive me, because I think I'm only seeing the Facebook comments come in on my feed. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm really only seeing the Facebook comments. So if you're commenting on another platform, they're going to come in, but they're a little bit slow. But I got to give it up to Jonetta Cole. Like, oh my goodness, for her to be out there like that through the pandemic, and in her mask, she was just regal, just dignified as they walked her away in plastic handcuffs. And of course, we were all on the phones, making sure that our attorney friends were all gathered around to meet her at the jail. But to think that she would even put herself in that kind of danger. We have no choice but to vote. We have no choice but to be active. We have no choice but to be activists. Those are the charges that we have when the elders of our community step up in the way that Jonetta Cole stepped up today, hours ago, the way that Sheila Jackson Lee stepped up for the 3rd time hours ago, protesting voting injustice. People died for it. Why can't we fight for it? Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox on that one, but that meant a lot to me. Also, there was another friend of my mother's. I want to talk about mom for a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do 2 poems. One's a love poem, and then I'll end it up. I want to talk about my mom because, well, let me do this love poem. This is about Thumper and his wife, my cousin Thumper, Teferi. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, and even if he does, he's my cousin, so you really can't disown me. My cousin met his wife some years ago on the internet, and I'm like, you finna go with somebody you met off the internet like that? Now, mind you, when he met her, Facebook and Instagram and all these things weren't as prevalent now because, half the people, they slide in DMs like it's, ice cream cones, they just slip it and slide. Nevertheless, I know it's got to be some good comments coming from this stuff. For some reason, it's not letting me see all of your comments, and I really want to see your comments so I can respond. So let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, there we go. It's giving me some. There we go. So my cousin met this girl, this young lady, and she's my cousin now because they're married and they have a beautiful daughter. They live in another city. And so I asked my cousin, I said, what was it? Or asked his wife, Tamika, I said, what was it about him? Like, what was it? Y'all went on the internet. And she said, she paused for a moment and she said, he seemed familiar to me. And it was such a beautiful statement to date someone and to hear someone say, you seem familiar to me. So that's a poem in the book. And I am just, oh gosh, that was a moment. And I just looked at the two of them and I saw it. I got it at that moment. You seem familiar to me, number 27. As I think about it, when I met you, you seemed familiar to me. like a fetus, sharing a close dark space that allowed us to evolve. Nothing I thought I wanted, but everything I needed. Your energy was alluring. Because in its simplicity was familiarity, and the familiar was beautiful. A cacophony sound of funk on every page. Every good boy does fine. Sharps and flats accentuate the experience, and you came to my FACE and allowed me just to be, to make music through a symphony, and that was your soul. In the essence of all that is, you seem familiar to me. Looking into your eyes, more reflective than peering into a mirror, transports me deeper within myself. This supreme love, deeper deeper than love itself, had yet to be defined, which is why moments after I met you, I knew. Oh, I knew. And I pushed you away, not to play the game. But in time, that push attracted me more to the me that was in you, because I was comfortable with the familiar. You see, I had been in love before, been in like once or twice, even been in comfort in a past life. But now that I've grown and I'm older and wiser, time reveals all, and I see the fire, the burn and yearn of love that is. So comfortable as good and good can be. See, good and comfortable just won't do for somebody like me, for I'm craving the me that I can't be, that I see within you. You seem familiar to me. And if you can't right now, I'll wait patiently in that familiar space, that beautiful place. Just you and me and me. Yeah, that one was really deep to me because he kept pushing her away. You know, he kept pushing her away. It was like, yo, pushing. And I'm like, well, she kept pushing him away. He was trying to, you know how it is, guys. You know how it is. So yeah, that's familiar. And I'm going to share this story, and I'm going to be out of here. But I thank you guys for tuning in. Wow, it's a lot of y'all watching. Thank you. Share. Tell people, get them, make them buy the book. Ask them, beg them, please. Somebody asked me too, why am I wearing a tuxedo? Thank you, Cousin Kim, and I'll DM you that info. Why am I wearing a tux in my house? First of all, if you know Rahman Johnson, you already know I'm not gonna do just what is expected, right? This is an honor beyond honors, right? This honor of getting a Book of the Year designation. So of course I'm gonna wear a tuxedo. I'm gonna dress it up. I was gonna either wear some African or tuxedo. You already know it. But yeah, I decided, yes, this is a real, the live rose. It's a boutonniere. I was hoping, it's been really hot outside, but I have rose bushes outside. One's named for my mom, one's named for my grandmother, and I was hoping to grab one of those. But speaking of my mom, so let me tell you, thank you, Teresa. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Please pass the word and ask people to get the book. By the way, just got word the book is going in all of Jacksonville Public Libraries, thanks to the director of the libraries. And I'm going to do a book talk with the libraries really soon. And I was excited. That story I told when I got the award, I got the picture somewhere with me and Maya Angelou. Do I have that? I want to pull it up. Let me see if I got it. I can pull it up for you. I was literally in the library and Maya grabbed my face, and I affectionately call her Auntie Maya, and told me, she says, young man, you will do great things and you will win awards. If you know Maya Angelou, you know that's like how she talks. She's like, you will win awards. And I was so excited tonight because this was like a realization of something that she said will come through. I'm looking for the picture right now to see if I can find it with Maya Angelou and I. It was like probably 1980 something, I think, but it was at the Brentwood Library. And so the Brentwood Library folk asked me for the picture. I got them a copy of it. I think they're going to put it in the library. And as I look back over some of this stuff, what's so interesting is that I'm remembering a lot of the folk that I talked with. Like, these are people that have been in my life for years, through my days on Nickelodeon on TV, through my days of the politics thing, and just trying to be the best that I was. So I'm just really thankful to her. Here's the picture, me and Auntie Maya. So I'm going to share this with you. hopefully it comes through. But to be able to be in this space is, yeah, I don't know. All right, so hold on. Let me do this. All right, I'm gonna share this screen, and I hope that you all are able to see it. But this is a photo of me and Maya Angelou, and this is, let's see, there we go. All right, if you can see it, not sure you can, but that's Maya Angelou and I. I think it's coming up. There we go. All right, so Maya is, as you can see, much younger. Can you all see this? I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know whether the sharing, it doesn't look like the sharing thing is working. I can see it on my end that it's shared. I'm gonna try this again. Share. All right, I feel like I'm having a whole Zoom today. Okay, there it is. Like, okay, can you see that now? There we go. I think it's there. But that's Maya Angelou and I. There you go. Okay, that is circa 19, I think, and as you can see from the caption, one of my first meetings with her. This is probably in the 1980s. I think I see, Jeanette Howell. I see Sylvia Perry. If you look, I'm going to use the mouse. There's Sylvia Perry right there, from the Nation of Islam, Brother Eddie X. There's Dennis Stewart, God rest his soul, right there, Mr. Natural. Dennis Stewart actually made this cake that I was presenting to Auntie Maya. Jeanette Howell was running the Center of Excellence at the time. I was president of the McKnight Achievers Association. So that was a part of why we were there. And this picture was taken. Oh, is that Max Anderson? I think that is Angelique Proctor's husband, Max Anderson, Liz Yates' evangelist, Elder Elizabeth Yates' cousin, Max. I think that's Max in the background. That is wild. So I've been rocking it. I think I was maybe 11. Maybe around 11 when this picture was taken. So long time ago, but she told me that I would win awards and do all this kind of stuff. And I was, it was an exciting time, right? I think the most wonderful thing I can say that my mom left me with leaving, and not left me, but transitioned, when she transitioned, was confidence. Mom gave me confidence to believe that any room that I walked in, that I belonged in that room. So meeting people like Maya Angelou and Maveen Besh and Jonetta Cole and Carol Alexander was part of the course, because I felt that I belonged in the room. And I'm so thankful for those opportunities that existed. So a friend of my mother, I won't say her name because it's health information, but one of my mom's dear friends called me on yesterday. It was early yesterday morning, and I was on the treadmill. And she called me and she wanted to let me know. She said, I thought about not calling you, but she wanted to let me know that she had a surgery that was successful. Now, what was so interesting about the situation is this friend of my mother's was diagnosed with the same type of cancer that my mother was. And they both went to the same high school, graduated from Raines High School right here in Jacksonville. And my mom's friend, who is coincidentally the same age as my mother, was able to get to the surgery. The cancer that my mother was diagnosed with did not allow her to get to the surgery. And so her friend didn't want to tell me, because she was like, well, I don't know that I want to share that. I don't want to bring up bad memories. And so as she told me that the surgery was successful. And I was so excited when she told me that the surgery was successful that I just had this feeling come over me. And, sometimes we have a little bit of like, I wish I could have, I wish I would have. And I was like, I wish Mom would have had the opportunity to get to have surgery. But I remember, and this was this whole bit of emotion I went through. I remember not long after my mother passing away, and I had to go through everything I did, and all the end of life stuff you have to go through. I remember just being so despondent, and I remember Mom coming to me in a dream. And I don't know how your dreams are, but for me, usually when I dream, especially about a loved one, there's less speech and more of feeling. So I could feel her talking to me. And my mother said to me, I have to go. My mother was, for those that knew Ida, she was a force in her own right. She says, it's my time. The work that I needed to do here is done. And if I stayed, I would stop you from accomplishing those things that you need to do, because you'll be too concerned about me. So I got to go. I love you. And I felt that. I felt the warmth of the embrace of knowing that her work was done, and it gave foundation for my purpose, right? So I was really excited about allowing this work to come full circle once I had found that space. And so I'm thankful. I shared that with today, Janice Nowak, the director of financial aid at Edward Waters University. Her mother passed away. And I went to share with the family today, and I sat with them. And one of the things I said was that touched me, that I shared with them, is that, look, if this mom that you've had for 90 plus years has mothered you and fathered you and nurtured you and blessed you and prayed with you and prayed for you, has done all this stuff on this side, imagine how much more intense it's going to be over there, when there is no form and there is no space and there is no time to stop them. They are going to be advocating and loving you even more without the binds of this side of time and space and form and all that stuff. So just wait. And it's going to be hard. We're going to miss them. A friend of mine texted me earlier today. He said, what do I do when it's time when I want to tell my mom something good? Good thing happened to me and I want to call my mom and tell her. I said, tell her. What stops you from telling her? No, you may not get the response that you're looking for, but you can still share it with her. You can still put it out there. And I talk to my mom all the time. I talk to my grandmother, my other ancestors and relatives, and I'm blessed to, my mom taught me before she left this earth, use that connection and power that you have. That's your birthright. That's all of our birthright. So that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book, for us to be better, to live fully in all of that understanding, to love deeply. And then when the time comes, understand that letting go is also a part of the process. That's it. All right. So this poem that I'm going to do, I think this is going to be my last poem, unless you got a request or something like that. I'm going to shut it down. This poem, and again, thank you for all of the love that's coming in. There'll be a book signing. I got to find it. The bookstore on San Marco, November 9th. They called. Before I do this, too, thank you to my agent, Andrea Jones with First Coast Talent, my team out in LA and the Bicoastal Group. Thank you to Felicia, Bebe Britt, and Pee Wee. We got to call them by their names. Thank you for my management team, who they're amazing. Just everybody who is a part of my life. I thank you, Elijah. John Hart from Hart SEO. He keeps all the technical stuff up and running at all times. I love this brother. And he is a dear friend. I'm looking forward to his nuptials coming up, and just everybody. I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna shut up. I've been talking way too long. This poem was a Facebook post. So my mom died, and I got up and I'm like, well, I gotta tell people, because I don't want everybody calling me saying, is your mama dead? Because you know how we do. And so I did this Facebook post. It was really powerful, and it became a poem. And it ended up on the back of the program for my mom's homegoing. So I will share this with you. I don't know, I saw someone today, and I forgot where it was. And someone said, it was the pharmacy. I want to get some vitamin D. And the gentleman said, I don't know how you could eulogize your mother. And if I had, and maybe I'll post it. I posted it before, maybe I'll post it. Thank you, Helena, for shooting it. I too don't know how I eulogize my mother. The week is a blur. The last thing I remember is her looking at me as I held her, and she went away. I mean, she went that quickly. And I've told the story, a million times about how we were just getting up to, I was going to walk her to the restroom. And the next thing I knew, I picked her up and she looked at me and was gone. And it was such a magical moment that there was no fear. There was nothing. It was just this beauty of this moment and an energy that I cannot even explain that I felt. And so I'm sad because I miss my mother incredibly. Like, I want to introduce my mom, say, Mom, this is AJ. Mom, this is Ken. You know, people that she didn't get to meet. And like, I want to say and make those, Ken, make those introductions. But, my mom sees them. She sees them. So anyway, this was a Facebook post. Ended up becoming a poem, and it was a part of the eulogy. Actually, it was the start of the eulogy for my mom's homegoing. This is number 31. If I knew I didn't have much time. If I knew I didn't have much time, I would have found a brighter way to shine, a more exclusive way to be so that you'd be proud of me. If I knew I didn't have much time. If I knew I didn't have much time, I'd have known if I knew I didn't have much time, if I'd have known it'd be so quick, then I'd never gotten sick. So only smiles would light our way as we enjoyed both night and day. If I knew I didn't have much time. If I knew I didn't have much time, if I'd have thought you'd leave this space, taking with you all your style and grace, I'd have tried to learn even more before you entered heaven's door. If I knew I didn't have much time. However, what I knew not made me wise. For my bliss, it made me blind to the possibility of today. So I loved you fiercely evermore. I believe I brought honor to your door. I treasured each moment, dark and light. I learned from your tenacity, your strength, your fight. Yes, the time was short, but I'd do it all the same. For what some see as loss, for me is glorious gain. The grand love that you had for me here is greater and boundless over there. So no, we didn't have much time, but this time I'll cherish, yours and mine. And now I see it was just enough time, simply divine. Love you, Mommy. All right, so I'm out of here. Hey, don't forget, you can get my book. I think one of the questions is you can get it. I kind of miss my mom. I really do, y'all. But I am so grateful for all the people in my life. And I'm thankful for this award. And that's all I got to say. I'm out of here. I said I was going to get through this night without crying or anything else, but I'm just appreciative and full. And like I said, I told my mom's friend, like, I'm glad that what my mother went through was able to help her to be here today. It's all about the lessons. Living, loving, letting go. It's all about lessons. All right. I love y'all. Be blessed. Buy my book. Tell people to buy my book. Make sure my book is in the libraries. Request it. And thank you all. I look forward to seeing you. And that book signing is going to be in San Marco. I think it is November 9th. November 9th is the day. But you'll see me post about it. Thank y'all. Have an amazing night. And I will see you next time. All right. This is the Rahman Experience.
This week's The Rahman Experience is brought to you by the Jacksonville Free Press newspaper, bringing you quality urban news for more than 30 years. PMP Nutrition and Supplements. Want your summer body? Go to pmpnutrition.com. They'll get you exactly where you need to be.
Heart SEO, internet marketing and web design for those who are ready to make their business soar. HeartSEO.com.
And now, one of the hottest podcasts in the country. It is the Rahman Experience.
Just like on the earth, through death comes life.
There is something in the atmosphere of Edgewater College.
What about vaping and the effects on the lungs? It was a symbol of we can.
Rahman was a man of the city, you hear me?
You're inside the Rahman Experience.
It's the Rahman experience.
The Rahman experience.
The knowledge that he dropping, most dismissive make you curious.
And we can't mess this up, cause you know he gon' be furious.
He bring the news to you, cause it's the truth, ain't no stopping it. Say you didn't know, well, here's the proof coming from
Rahman Johnson, ain't no straight out of Compton. Duval County with that way that we rockin'. Now you tuned in
to the Rahman experience.